But, anyway. Well, how about this? You know, it is summer, right?
Right.
And we've talked about what we did on our summer vacation, like good boys and girls who
Yes.
don't tell tales outside of school.
Yeah, we're ready to like tell everybody what happened.
So now we can get on to our main topic.
Oh, which is?
The song of the week.
Oh, and the song of the week is...
Well, you get to announce it because you picked it.
Oh, I picked it?
Yeah, because you found it. I mean, like, this is your find.
You disagree?
Not at all.
Okay.
I'm in 100% agreement.
Yeah, so the song of the week is Eternal Summer by The Strokes off of their album from last year, The New Abnormal.
Yeah. Yep.
Produced by Rick Rubin.
Really good.
Hey,
Super
man,
good.
really good. Like, psychedelic, man. Like, out there. Really good. Like, I was being so shrill, and then, like, I was like, wait, I'm just going to be really good.
Oh, you're so cruel. I must love it, though.
You must.
I know. I just keep coming back on this show.
Yeah. So anyway, like, I don't know. This is weird because like I listened to that album last year, maybe I guess once, and then forgot about it.
Oh yeah.
And then we saw them on. We were watching episodes of SNL.
Yeah.
Or whatever, and like they
That's
were the musical,
research,
musical guest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, like trying to see what our contemporaries are doing, like in the comedy space, you know, so that we can
comedy space.
We can make sure we're not like accidentally like biting their jokes and premises and stuff.
Yeah,
because
I don't want to run the risk of getting like an Emmy nomination or anything.
Dude, I am not ready for that.
I'm not ready for that.
You know, with COVID and everything.
Well, there's that. You know.
But I also I feel like that would be so distracting right now, you know?
To your spiritual practice?
Yeah. Exactly. To just getting physical, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so, anyway, yeah, so we watched them on SNL and stuff like that. And then a friend of mine was like, hey, we're hanging out on the back patio during COVID times, having a beer or two. I can't drink beer, but I was having
a
cider, smoking a pancake, listening to some music, and he's like, "Hey, let's listen to that latest Strokes album." And then we started listening to it, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is really good!" Like, I guess I'm just wasn't paying attention when I listened to it before. So then I started listening to it. We rewatched the SNL performances or whatever, and I was like, whoa, there's some really good songs on this album.
Yeah.
Like, a lot.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And yeah, it was kind of a nice like rediscovery of something that you'd sort of like passed over.
Well, that, and I think I really liked the first album, but then I, wasn't a big fan of the second, and I think it's really hard to come back with a third album that's better than the first one. I mean, to me, this is better.
Well, this isn't their third album. They've had like 3 other albums in between. 3 or 4 other albums in between.
In between 3 and this one?
3?
Like you're saying, they had 3 albums, and they had 3 more albums. Is that what you're saying?
They had an exponential, like 3 to the third power. No, they had like the first one.
Yeah.
And then there was like another one.
Uh-huh.
Then there was like 2 or 3 more, and then there was this one.
That's what
you
I'm
just
saying.
didn't listen to them.
You're saying there were 6 albums?
Something like that. We can look it up. I'll show you after this, but this isn't their third album, I guess is my point.
Oh, okay. Well, let me rephrase that. It's nice.
The third album you've been aware of.
Yeah. I mean, like, I obviously kind of like forgot about the Strokes after the second album. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
I was really turned off by the second album. I was like, these guys are not really going to do anything. This is lame.
They were essentially dead to you at that point.
Yes.
You'd completely written them out of history.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So yeah, that's why this feels like, oh, it's the third album. They're back, baby.
But I guess I could just say it in their latest album.
You could.
It was better than the first album. So I guess if I'm missing 2 or 3 somewhere, I couldn't say if it's the best, but I would wager to say it's the best.
Oh, it's certainly my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Eternal Summer is one of the songs, and we really like it. And it's summertime. And it's not necessarily like a, hey, this is great, it's summer song, which also kind of coincides with a lot of like these kind of weather events that have been happening around the world and like natural disasters and stuff that we think might be related to, you know, climate change.
I mean, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But some people don't or whatever, you know.
Yeah, some people think it's soup.
It's soup, man. We're adding too much soup to the atmosphere.
Somebody cooked too much soup.
And it's just, and it's raising.
There was a flood or a fire or whatnot.
Yeah, we don't understand the long-term effects that this will have on the heating and cooling budget of the, you know, climate or whatever. True. But it seems to be creating a lot more chaos. That's for sure.
A lot more chaos, yeah.
It's been super dry out here. There's all this fucking shit on fire. And it's like flooding in Europe like crazy.
Yeah. So this idea of eternal summer is kind of interesting. It's gonna play on words because there's so many songs out there, you know, from like way back till now that's like, you know, forever summer and, you know, all this kind of stuff because it's like, oh, summertime's when you have fun and you're not in school. So you want summer to last forever. Mm-hmm. But if it's eternal summer, that means there's no winter. And if there's no winter, it's like there's no rain.
There's no seasons anymore. It's just summer.
Yeah.
And then pretty soon we're all like those desiccated, like, you know, skeletons in the desert or whatever.
Yeah.
Like a vulture is like pecking on your skull.
When I first listened to the song, though, I thought, oh, this is a love song.
Yeah.
But it's not about love at all. It's interesting how you can kind of take words like song lyrics or poems or something and twist them around into whatever it is you think they should be, even without changing the words themselves. You know, just like the way you interpret it is kind of, it's interesting.
Yeah. Like language is an interesting thing.
Yeah.
Because like, yeah, plenty of words and phrases have many different meanings.
So this particular video is really cool too for the song, but we watched all their latest videos and they're all really good. Although I'll say that knock at the door one, bang at the door. Mm-hmm. Man, I cannot stop thinking about that.
Really?
Yeah.
I have to watch it again because I can't remember what it was. Other than that, it seemed like it was weird.
Well, it definitely was weird, and it wasn't weird in a way that I found upsetting per se or anything like that. It was just it is really like it's been like on a loop in my brain. The combination of like the words with like death is knocking at the door, but it's like the strange like circle. It got me, man. Like whoever made that was really smart. Because I mean, not just but this is another thing we should mention before we get to the bolo, okay? All right.
Yeah.
This is important, urgent news.
Urgent. Yeah, go for it.
2 things. You said you finally decided that you liked the Talking Heads.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, like after like 25 years or whatever the fuck of knowing you, you're like, oh, Talking Heads are never good. And then just the other day, you were like, I like them. And I was like, yay.
Yeah, I mean, this is exciting, I guess, for you because you
win. No.
Okay.
I don't win anything. This is just
it's only me that has won.
Yes.
Because my mind is opened.
And that or whatever. And then we can like enjoy things together. You know?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, I mean, I won't bore everybody with my Talking Heads like, you know, criticisms, but you know, I think it's fairly well established that like people like them and stuff.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
So.
And I've kind of a lot of the times, other than like maybe some of their like hits, big hits or whatever, I'm kind of like, man, it's just kind of like boring. It kind of fucking goes on forever, blah, 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 blah. But we watched Stop Making Sense again recently, and there were a couple songs in there where I was like, okay.
You're doing your Jason Talking Heads thing?
Okay. Like it's just, it's not good enough. Like, I don't know. Or
and
whatever.
This is what you've always said about the Talking Heads, and I'm like, okay, well, that's too bad. But then you got to the end of the show, and
I was like, oh yeah, I guess I like these guys, because like all but 2 of the songs that were on the whole thing were like not joyful and fun to listen to and fun to watch them perform.
But you didn't say, oh, I guess all like the Talking Heads. You were like, okay, I officially love the Talking Heads now. And I was like, oh.
I don't know if that was the direct quote, but it's probably close. I'll cop to it.
Oh, jeez, man. Like, let it go.
But it's so hard to let go of my hate.
I know. I know.
My bitterness and my hatred.
So the other bit of urgent news is that you said that I was a genius. I was like, what? Are you talking to me?
When did I say this? This doesn't sound like me at all.
I know. So
what was it about?
That must have been a mistake. But here's what I heard. You said that I don't need to watch things like Batman Begins, because that's too much like ordinary everyday life and like the way that it looks. And I like things like Batman Forever because of its cartoonish nature that doesn't relate to reality.
Uh-huh.
And that means that I must be some sort of superior chump, because I don't need to just watch the regular chumps like I can see outside with my own eyeballs.
Mm-hmm.
I want to watch the chumps that are doing things that you can't do on Earth.
Right. Yeah, you're going to quote an Eternal Summer.
Yeah.
By the Strokes. You're ignoring reality.
Yeah. True.
Right? Like, you don't need reality. Reality is all over the place. I can fucking see that any day.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, oh, you want something dark? Oh, there's like, homeless people shooting up over there. Okay, got it. Or whatever, right?
Right.
There's violence.
Yeah.
Horrific things happen. Flooding.
There's pain and suffering and sadness.
But like, where are Batman's nipples and the purple fucking chest plate? And where
not purple? Okay, nipples, yes. Purple, no.
There's some colors
on Batman.
Yeah.
No.
I think so. Maybe I'm thinking of Robin.
Yes.
Okay, because Robin has nipples too.
Well,
I happen to know this.
Well, yeah.
Does it make you horny?
Not if we're talking about that Chris, whatever his name was.
Yeah.
That would be a no, Scott.
Chris McDougalstein or something like that.
Like Val Kilmer's little sidekick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay, yeah. Well, that makes sense. I do remember that now, saying that you were a genius.
Did you not mean it?
No, I meant it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was nice. Anyway, that was really unexpected. So I wanted to make sure everybody knew about it. Because I was like totally baffled for a second.
For so long, I've just continually browbeaten you and called you and made you believe that you're stupid. Like,
well, you've told me that the Batman Forever is the worst Batman of all time.
It is. I firmly believe that. That's terrible.
Not in the way it looks, though.
Yeah, it looks interesting.
Yeah. And it has a kiss from the rose on the grave, so,
But you don't need reality. You ignore that shit. Because you're like, I fucking know this. Somebody tell me something I don't know.
That is 100% accurate. Yes. I am like in search of all times for somebody to tell me something I don't know. And when it happens, I'm almost always horrified. Like, it's so intense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so maybe that is that capture some of how you feel about the Eternal Summer video?
Yeah.
Horrified?
Yeah. I can't, it's like, well, it's like reading that book, A Dirty Job. You know, you'd be horrified to see some horrible sewer harpies trying to eat a baby or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
They live in the like gargoyle demons that live in the sewer. I mean, you'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to recover. But when you read about it in a book and you experience it in like a fantasy sense,
Yeah.
then you're kind of like, well, I actually can't get enough of the sewer harpies. They're like my favorite character. Like, you know? So it's sort of this like fascination and repellent.
Throw some jokes in there and all of a sudden.
You got a hit show? Hey!
You got a hit podcast.